Everything's looking good. Good morning. Oh, what do we have here? Looks like we did not have enough support on this tomato plant here, and it's after dropping down. Maybe a line broke? No, I don't think it was supported enough. All right, let's get a clip on that. Right now, get that put up. I see a line over here. We're going to attach it to there for now. So we'll just get our clip wrapped right around there, like that. All right, hopefully that is okay there. A few tomatoes up above there, not a lot, but everything has been growing really well with our tomatoes and our peppers. We have a lot of tomatoes growing there now. I'm doing a daily harvest there, taking a few that are red in the house every day, and we're getting ready to start processing some of those. We're getting a lot of color over here in our peppers. You can see some yellow, orange, that's orange back there. These are probably, they're turning red now, I can see. These are red ones. Over here we have some yellow ones. They've been turning yellow for a while. Some beautiful orange ones over here. Look at the size of these guys. They're just beautiful. A little tiny yellow one right in there. I'm trying to keep my leaves trimmed back enough that they're doing their job as leaves, but also to allow as much sun to get at peppers as possible. They need that sunshine in order to change color. And as you can see now, they're starting to change nicely. So what I want to do today, looks like the bulk of our dry summer is coming to an end. Unfortunately, this summer has been far drier than normal, and we've had a lot of forest fires. We've lost hundreds of homes to the fires. But because the drier weather is starting to cool up a little bit, and we're going to probably have rain this evening. We've got rain coming tonight. I think the climate is starting to turn a little bit now for the end of the summer. So I want to get the leaves and that taken off as many potatoes as possible, because with the damp weather, that's what causes the fungus to start on the go, and blight is something that is a real worry for us with our potatoes. Let's head out in the garden and get at those potatoes. Things are looking good here in the garden. I think most of our potato plants have died off. Certainly makes the weeds stand out. So I'm going to pull those few weeds there now, the bigger ones anyway. And then we'll start cutting off some of the potato plants. Alright, so let's take our shears and we're going to snip the stalk on all of these potato plants. They're died away there now. What I'm doing may not really be necessary. I've decided that I want to do it, as past years I have removed all of the stalks once they've died off in fear of the blight. But I've never snipped them like this. I've just tore them up and left the potatoes in the ground. Basically what we're doing now most of these stalks are so dead that I can just grab onto them and pull them right out. In this area, we get blight, which is a fungal disease. As the ground gets wetter this time of year, we get a fungus which will travel in the air, and it attaches to the leaves of our potato plants. I don't know, it may attach to other plants as well. I'm not sure what else is affected. But with the potato plants, what happens, once this fungus attaches to the leaves will get brown spots on them. Maybe like this. Okay, I don't know if that one is just dying off or if that is blight. But what then happens is you get black spots going down the stalk of the plant. Those black spots will go down to the potatoes, and it then starts to rot the potatoes. They go soft and mushy. So if this is a form of blight that's on these leaves now, I don't think it is. I think they're just dying off. But if it was, then we caught this one in time because it has not gone down the stalk. So watching for the black on the leaves of a healthy plant could indicate that blight is on those leaves, and it will work its way down the stalk. As soon as you see that the stalk is getting brown spots on it, it's time to get rid of that stalk and leaves. Most of this has died off to the point that I don't have to cut it. Once the plant gets to this point where the leaves and that have no green left in them, they're pretty much died off. I'm leaving this a little bit here. Then what's above the ground has no value to the potatoes. So the potatoes are down under the ground here, and they're continuing to grow just fine. They just don't need any of this from above anymore. They're growing as a root. This is a great way to get a head start on cleaning up the bed a little bit as well. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, we're going to get rid of that over in the compost pile. Now, I threw that over in the compost pile. If I suspected that there was blight on some of this, we would not do that. We would have to destroy it, bury it up someplace where it's not going to affect anything, someplace where the fungus will die. Don't burn it. Burn it only makes the fungal spores become airborne again, and they'll travel somewhere else or back in your own garden. But I'm sure that those were turning brown simply because they're dying off now. So we're going to clean up a little bit of this other bed here, or rocks. We don't need those. Clean this here up a bit. Get rid of some of this dead stuff. That's a very small potato plant coming up there. Now this is looking an awful lot better. As we see the other plants here dying off, we're going to get rid of the stalks on those as well. Under the ground here, the potatoes will continue growing. We're going to give them probably another month or two, and then we're going to harvest them. By that time, we should have some nice sized potatoes. Well, the first batch of carrots that we put in are really doing well. I've been doing a bit of weeding here every evening as I'm watering. The water makes some of the weeds stand right out, so it's so much easier to identify them. Though we have some of the carrot leaves are getting a little bit yellowed from the lack of water, you can see here how this is pushing up on the ground. So you know that there's a good carrot growing right there. Let's look over right here. You can see right here, this carrot, they're coming out of the ground a bit. So they are starting to grow pretty good there now. As for our peas, well, they came out in flower. And of course, each flower is going to make a pod for us. And we sampled one of these the other day, and I'm having another one now because they are so good, really good. Very full, really sweet. We'll start picking those soon. These are the second carrots that we planted. I don't see them pushing up on the ground yet, but they seem to be growing faster than the first ones. They're coming up nicely. I believe they were planted actually a week or two after the other ones, but these are taller plants. Again, that could be just a variety that I have there. Look down here. The water has washed away. A little bit of this last night when I was watering. Potatoes showing there. I'm going to get that covered up now. I've noticed over the past week or so, the onions are really bulbing up nicely. The majority of them are forming really well. When you consider that these will be in the ground for another month and a half, 2 months at least, they should be very nice sized onions for the winter. Now, I said the other day that while we were cleaning up our potatoes, we were going to get back up to these long blues that we have here. So we're just going to pull some weeds and take up the dead plants here as well. Normally with the weeds, you see me take the leaves and weeds and throw them to one side. I normally just throw them out on the rocks where they will dry up. All right, so we still have this one plant here that's growing. We're going to leave the leaves and that on this one for now. So we have our potatoes down underneath the ground there, and they're going to continue growing without the plant on top. The plant on top has served its purpose. All right, so we got a weed down here. Get that one out of there. And over here. All right, so let's do the same thing here now with our zucchinis. Any of the leaves and branches that do not look healthy, we're going to snip them away. There we go. Clean it up a bit. Now we have a very nice zucchini here. We have a problem here with slugs, and you can see here how they eat away these zucchinis. Once they get through that skin, they attack it pretty vigorously. If you look over here, they're just starting on this one, and this little tiny one here, they're actually getting after the top of it. I may come out tonight after dark and see if I can see them and get rid of them, or I may just put a bit of salt right around here, and hopefully that will get rid of them. Right here, just look at this fresh bite here. So once they compromise that skin, they'll go right after that. So I'm picking that one today. And then I think I will put a bit of salt around here to get rid of them. Oddly enough, another thing that gets rid of slugs is beer. They're little alcoholics, they are. They love the beer, and then they drown in it. All right, let's get all this stuff out of here, clean it up a bit. Okay, and we're going to snip off that zucchini that we have right there. I know, a little bit overkill with this here, isn't it? That one's going in the house. We'll get it ready to be preserved. Okay, we have our potatoes cleaned up quite a bit. All the stalks are gone from the bed over there. We've got our other plants cleaned up and checked. I do have to finish covering up this potato right here, though. I'm just going to get a couple handfuls of soil and put on top of it. That'll take care of that one. All right. Now let's go back in the greenhouse and we'll get ourselves a few tomatoes. Oh, well, we got that done. We have some rain this afternoon. It's nice to have the outdoor work done prior to that. All right, let's start off with some of these down here. So we're only picking the ripest ones. The others will ripen more over the next few days. I just don't want any of them falling off the bush and onto the ground. Lovely one here. That one came off pretty easy. That one, he's okay there for another little bit. What do we have in back here? Just push our bushes out of the way. All right, that one's starting to split open, so we'll take that one. Got a couple back here. Up here. Some of these are growing a little bit faster than the skin is able to grow. So they're starting to split open a little bit. We'll leave those couple. Back here, we have a couple nice ones here on the bottom. Those can stay. We have one down here. He's good to go. I think we're going to leave this guy for another while. I think that's it for today's harvest. There's lots that will be ready soon. Every day we'll get a few more off it. It's going to be a lot of tomatoes this year to process, though. But we all love tomato sauce, right? Let's take a peek up around here and just have a little look through. Looks like there's tomatoes everywhere. A lot of them are starting to turn a bit orange there as they're starting to change color. I've had to suspend some of these here to hold them up. And we still have lots of young ones up here as well. Small ones that are just starting off. You see right here, there's lots. Down through here, we got lots of big ones here. They're growing really well. There's a spider web there. Get rid of that. check the nutrients now while I'm out here. All right, so the tomato nutrients are good. And a little reach down here. The pepper looks good as well. It'll probably need some by tomorrow morning, though. These peppers are all doing so well. I had several of the branches actually break off. They're getting so heavy, so I had to add some extra support with some more trellis lines. These big ones in back here. They just need to get a little bit more sun and they'll start to turn color too. These guys here have less leaves around them, so they're getting the sun and they're changing color very nicely. These are going to be very nice peppers for stuffing. Well, that's it for me. We'll see you guys later. Right here in the greenhouse.